Hey YouTube, it's Scooby Steve again. We are back with the Project Baja trailer here. I didn't do a video on cutting this just because it's pretty basic. I took a Sawzall from about here to here on both ends, and then use a grinder with a cutoff wheel to go over this so I didn't cut the transmission up here. I just took a Sawzall all the way across, so that way I can not damage the headliner. I'm not sure if I'm going to leave the headliner in this when I do cut it, but this pinch weld is actually really nice. I think that's what I'm going to use to make the front plate. Across here, I'm going to use probably a 5x3 1/8" steel rectangular tube and brace it there, and then where this kind of flat spot is, it goes all the way across. I'm going to cut all this out after I put the bar across, and then I will just flat plate from there to there. The interior is completely stripped. There is not much left. I'm going to leave all of this in here just because it looks a little nicer. As for the door, I'm going to leave the window switch in. I took the speaker wire and the door lock wire and stripped it completely out of the harness, so that way I can still open it and open the window for the dogs. Let's see here. I am probably just going to grab a piece of aluminum plate here, just thin stuff, to plate that off. That's the end of the game. Also here, I took the lock rod off, so that way it can't be locked. It's just unlocked at all times. I'm going to leave the door handles on the inside, just in case for any reason I ever get in here. I don't want to be locked in here. That does not sound like a fun time. Seat belts are removed. Headrests are removed off of there. I've still got to remove the fuel tank. I've got a buddy that's going to come help me do that on the weekend. And then I'm going to start stripping all of this out here. We're going to see what it looks like under the bed here. Sometimes they're real rusty, sometimes not. And the underside of this isn't the worst. I think I might have this stripped and then take it to a place to have this all sandblasted. And then I will Raptor line the underside. I do have quite a bit of holes to fill up, though. We're no longer using bolts. This, I'm going to try to find a grommet. If I can't, I'll just grab some silicone and fill in the holes. Same with this. Same with that one, too. But that one's a circular. Should be able to find it. These are going to get cut off. You can kind of notch that off and get rid of that. I did leave the seatbelt hooks back here. They'll be a good point to mount the dogs and their harness, just in case I ever do get in a wreck. They're safe. I don't have to worry about that. I think also with this cut here, I'm going to be just right about behind the sunroof, hopefully. If not, I guess I can always put a strip there to take care of it. I thought about just taking the sunroof and moving it back, but unfortunately there's not enough room for that to really function other than just a vent. I think that's about all that I've done so far. Now with this slope that comes down here, I don't know if I want to continue this or if I want it to kind of slope down and then cut right where that metal kind of meets up. So under here, I've already got the diff out. The spare tire is going to come out as well. Any excess stuff, charcoal canister, everything. And then as for from about here all the way forward is where I'm going to make the tow bar. I'll probably use, let's see here, this to that as a brace across. So that way it kind of makes kind of like a cross. I'm going to remove as much as I can I'll remove the rotors, all of that, and then I'm going to keep the back of the CV axle, so that way I can still use the CV axle nut on the hub assembly. I don't know if hub assemblies need the constant tension on them, but I guess it's just better to have it there and not need it than need it and be going through wheel bearings. As for the fuel door, I thought about just deleting this. What I'm actually going to do, since I need a battery in the back, I'm actually going to use this as just a place to shut off the battery and turn it back on. So that way it's still functional. It's not missing it. I think I'm unfortunately going to need a new tailgate here. There's a couple dents on it, but the handle, it doesn't release. So you can see here, it's there, you pinch it, and it doesn't go back, which makes that not work. Plus that screw and that screw are stripped. I could probably use a pair of vice grips and get it off, and that's probably what I will do. Unfortunately, it just kind of sucks. So here is the front cut. It still has the engine, transmission, wiring. Everything is still attached. I just wheeled it over here. Threw as much of this stuff inside of as I can. Thinking about using these front tinted windows actually in my Baja. Mine are not tinted. And then this, I gotta get this going too. This is a VK56 out of a Nissan Titan that I just got done parting out not long ago before I brought the Baja home. This is actually going to go in my 05 Nismo Frontier. So that'll have a nice little V8 in it instead of the VQ40. I can't stand the way they sound. Most people can't. VQ problems. This is still slowly going. I'm getting the grill all finished up here since I had the grill off of this to cut up and patch that in. And then on the front lower bumper, same thing. I'm using the bumper off of the donor so that way I can finish filling that in. That's about where this is at. Otherwise, I haven't done too much to it. It's just kind of slowly chipping away at it. We've got this corner piece almost done. Spoiler, I'm still slowly working on it. I mean, it's pretty much got its final shape. I need to finish this tail light, which I will probably steal one off of that for the meantime. There's the flare for this too. Also finishing that up. That back piece is done. The other Baja will be the same way, smooth fill, no flip down plate. Because honestly, I don't ever think I need to drive with the tailgate down. I have other vehicles if I can't fit whatever I'm trying to fit into this. And then there's this thing. I don't really ever post about it or talk about it. It's a 2000 Legacy GT. Bought it with a knocked-in motor. Needed some body work. It's slowly getting done too. Just way too many projects around here to do at the time. This S401 sway bar here actually is for sale. I mean, if nobody buys it, it's just going to stay on this. It's a clean little car, 166,000 miles. It's got 04 STI BBS wheels on it, and Brembos. They've been freshly redone. The backs are just 4th gen Legacy LGT ones. So they're vented rotors. Slowly chipping away at this one too. Maybe one day I'll be free of projects, or just down to one would even be nice. Say hi to YouTube guys, huh? Yes, good puppies. Good puppers. How you doing now? So I was up here taking the crossbars off, and yeah, you can see those hail dents are pretty good sized. The good thing is this looks like it lines up just perfect maybe with that. We'll find out sooner. I'm going to take two pieces of 1x1 one about there, one about here, and I'll use a flat plate up, so that way I can scribe on the roof here, and for sure figure out where I gotta cut. Not necessarily the same with the bottom, just because the bottom isn't. I don't think I'm gonna follow this line. I think I'm gonna make it just swoop down a little and cut there. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do.